chat I think we were on. Um, as far as stuff going on, I think the biggest thing is probably going to be the Yarn Rith, which we've got going on. It's going to start technically midnight PST tonight. Just got the channels set up for it. It's going to be separate channels from the original Yarn Rith, which will provide one nice thing, which is if you go searching for any information like, oh, when did I challenge this person, you won't accidentally wind up with like some challenge from like um, a year ago, and you're like, oh wait a minute. So that'll be nice. But yeah, it's all getting set up. Um, I don't know if Manny or Khan, you guys want to talk about it at all, or just wait till like the channels are public and the rules are posted or whatnot.
I mean, I'm more than happy to go over the rules. I don't know if you have anything that you want to bring up, Kananga, but I figured it best since we're here at Fireside that we give people the opportunity while we're on air to ask whatever questions they may have.
Yeah, it seems like a good idea.
So, I mean, Con, you want me to run by the rules one more time, real quick, and then we'll go ahead and open it up to any questions. All right, so I'm pretty sure that Khan's dead, so that's actually exactly what I'm going to do. So, yeah, I don't know what happened. Maybe he's drunk. I don't know. But so the Yarnrith, as y'all probably know by now, is going to be a great company-based competition as opposed to last year's warband-based competition. Where it's just Companions of Aegir versus Guardians of Ran. We are going to be tracking points earned based on both a warband and great company basis. Um, and we would be kind of grateful if you helped us keep track of everything. That way we can have double records that we can compare and make sure that everything's running through right and no one misses anything, right? um the main reason for keeping things double tracked as far as like keeping track of the great company's points and the warband's points is just so that we can make 100% sure that we know exactly who the MVP warband is. That way we can get everything announced proper, good for them. As far as the way that challenges are going to be issued, it's the same thing as last year. You get into the challenges chat, and you follow the specific format. Apologies for my stuttering because I'm brain dead apparently, but the format is, if I recall, as follows. For instance, I, Manny Gothy Mannyling of Kolga's Frostguard Challenge, Vestborger Lightling, which in this case would not work because he's not part of a great company. So Conungramir, Yormling, to honorable combat. Choose a battlefield, name your forces. Right. And then at which point, we can go on with, delegating and deciding on a battlefield and, who's going to be playing and stuff like that. Once both sides have agreed on said terms, both sides have to post bargained and well done in the chat. And then that is considered an active challenge. Then it is upon you in order to actually, get that scheduled and done. Once that is done, you post, the people that participated, as well as those who won and how many points. It's, I believe, 5 points for every person that participates in a challenge. So for instance, a League of Legends 5v5 will net you 25 points if you win it. So bringing in friends and stuff is encouraged, but we do want to keep it fair and even. You are welcome to make appeals if you feel that the challenge that you were issued was insurmountable odds. But that's also kind of why we have the ability for both sides to say bargained and well done, is to make sure that one warband or great company doesn't issue a challenge that the other just simply can't do. So do try to be smart about what you're agreeing to and make sure you've got everything secured. Once the Yarnrith is done at the end of the 2 weeks, we'll go ahead. We'll make sure we have everything tallied right. We'll announce winners. So simple enough. At this time, I would like to open up the floor to any sort of questions or anything that y'all may have. I'm more than happy to answer any of them.
Are there any limits on what games? Is it any game, just like the warband competition year?
Any game. It doesn't matter. If y'all want to play fucking like tic-tac-toe, you're good.
Coolmathforkids.com. Let's go.
Yeah, exactly. Cool math. Exactly.
It has happened before, the tic-tac-toe and rock paper scissors. So
yeah, so y'all are welcome to do that, just so long as both sides agree on it. I would ask that we please keep everything within the bounds of the law for all participants. That means no drinking competitions, particularly for anyone the ages of 21 or younger than 21. 21 and older, fucking have at it. But if you're younger than 21, do not participate in any of that. In fact,
So
I would
we
ask
can
that
have
we
a
please
shot
refrain from
conversation.
drinking competitions.
A legal drinking age in Canada is
18.
Yeah, but how are you supposed to prove that? I mean, a guy could have like a bottle of vodka and it just be water.
Yeah, so I mean that's where both sides
Honor
have to
holds
agree on
you
it.
to honest competition.
Yeah.
If we're getting lit, it better be honorable. Because anybody that wants to challenge me to a drinking competition, feel free to get riggedy.
You'll
wrecked.
lose.
bring it on.
Okay, shot for shot.
All
Defeat
right.
Bird every
Wait,
2
we're in
minutes.
the same company.
It hasn't
though.
even
Yeah.
it hasn't even
Wait, we're
fucking started and we're already getting challenges issued. I had opened this up for questions, not challenges.
Oh well, you know what? I will be the designated drinking god this on Earth. So get wrecked.
I
Jimmy
appreciate
God,
the
baby.
excitement at least. I hope that we'll have it'll be a successful competition.
Indeed.
What's successful
But-
in that competition? Blackout?
But yes, that's really all I have about the Yarnrith. It's pretty simple, basically the same deal as last year, except now it's I should note one thing that I don't believe I mentioned. Vestborger is going to be acting as a free agent in this one. So long as he's not like busy or anything, or if he's willing to participate, you can go ahead and ask him. You can't just say, hey, like Vest, you want to come play this league 5v5 or whatever. And then that's up to his discretion if he wants to join or not. But yeah, so he's a free agent in this one. Because we don't want to leave our High King out. That's not fun.
if I could ask, I think I mentioned it already, but are we going to have a comprehensive post describing everything you've said like last year? Because we did Vest did post a very lengthy.
We will. We will.
All right,
we will
cool.
have a detailed post with like all the rules and all that such. That way, people will be able to refer to it throughout the event. By the way, I'm lying. No, we are just going off of my word of mouth. So fuck it. If the rules get misconstrued, then I mean, have at it. I guess I don't care. Yes, of course, we will be having an official post.
And we are gonna have a scoreboard, right? A nice
Yes.
scoreboard like last year.
Yeah, I don't think it'll be as fancy because I'm not Vestborger, but
I'm
there
going,
will be a scoreboard.
I'm going to create a scoreboard of some sort. And then I don't know. My biggest problem is what with me working a lot of the time, I'm not able to keep it constantly updated. So I'm going to have to find someone who might be able to help me with that.
That's what the Artificers Guild is for.
Yeah. But that being said, I am going to be creating that once I get home from work.
All right, well, cool. I'm definitely excited, and yeah, I'm happy to participate as long as I'm around in any challenges. I believe it was me and Ducky had a pretty epic game of Capital Penguin last Yarnrith, so certainly there's a lot of possibilities for battlefields there. As far as anything else, I mean, the reason we're having the Yarnrith basically is because it's going to be the 1 year anniversary of the start of the first Viking era, March 15th, 2018 we started, so I'll probably open up the Storytime channel and we'll reminisce a bit, but other than that, I think the Yarnrith is really how we're going to celebrate it as far as I know. If somebody has anything, secret celebrations planned that I don't know about. But, yeah. I think the Yarn Host should be pretty fun. Definitely looking forward to it. As far as other stuff, I think I can't recall if I quite announced this last Fireside or mentioned it, but we have been doing a lot of work, further work on the Codex of the Ice which is Codex on Uko and also on the forums too. There's over 500 entries now, so there's a lot of stuff on there. There's still more I'm trying to add. Like what I always say is like, if you're just curious about something in WA, just try typing Codex whatever in Shrine of Uko, and if nothing comes up, I'm usually keeping an eye on that channel, and then the Scribes Guild will usually make a note of anything like that, like, oh, this person searched for this, and nothing came up. Like, one I've got written down right now is Eldfinner. Somebody was looking up Eldfinner, and he didn't have a Codex entry, and I realized he should have one, because he's a pretty significant member, so that's something that we'll continue to work on. Yeah, so that's kind of my focus right now. For House Dippity, we are still working on relics a little bit, one of our traditions. We wanted to add some kind of individualized mission, was Ricky Later's idea for each relic to kind of make them more unique. So he posted all the ones he's been working on, and I threw a few suggestions over to him too in House Dippity chat. So if anybody has any feedback or input or anything on those, just post in there, and we're working on that. But I think that's gonna be about it. Looking over my document here, it's mostly just a lot of random notes, like something Vinny brought up on the forum. This was a little while back, but dates on lineage charts. I thought was a good idea, just because looking back, we have a lot of old lineage charts. We're like, well, let's see, Ingvar was on this one, but not this one, so it was between October and December, or whatever, you know, so I think having the exact date it was made on there is pretty handy. I've at least in all mine, I named the files as such, the month that they're made, but even then we can definitely just like put dates on and make it more accurate, and put who put it together too. So I think that's a good idea. One other thing, let's see. Oh, Vinny had suggested more Uko trivia about WA divided up by each era instead of just like, you know, the whole smorgasbord of 300 questions or whatnot. So that was good, but that could take some time. I don't know if anybody wants to work on that or come up with some questions. I mean, feel free to just like message me or post them somewhere, ping me or whatnot. But that might be something I work on at some point. I just thought it was a good idea. Just so you could say, oh, I want to, you know, do trivia just about the Third Fleet era, something like that could be cool. Oh, another thing Pato brought up, or I think Eld actually brought up for Pato a couple firesides back that I still need to get to. Since I finished the Origin of the Manlings, this might be something I work on pretty soon, which would be describing all the ships of our fleet. At least I can describe some of the non-Warband Great Company ships. So, yeah, that's something I want to work on. But I think that's going to be about everything I've got on the agenda. So does anybody have anything they want to bring up? Ideas or suggestions, questions, or anything like that?
ESO's doing pretty well. If anybody, feel free to come play with us. We're just now getting the majority of us up to 50 and working on our champion points. Now is a good time to get in. When June 4th, I do believe, rolls around, the new Elsewhere patch will drop. So I know at least 2 or 3 of us are making new characters to get into the Necromancer class. So that's whenever we'll be doing some other new leveling and stuff. So feel free to come on by and play with us.
And we'll be willing to run you through stuff and get you leveled up fast.
We are masters of the dolmen.
Did I jump in at the wrong thing?
Kind of, sort of, but
Do I need to
welcome,
leave?
Raptor.
No, it's alright. This is our
Okay.
fireside chat. This is like a weekly
just-
meeting we have.
You're just confused. I know.
A little
This
bit.
is our city council meeting. This is where we organize the executions and stuff. You know, if you've been bad.
All right.
Hey, Vess,
Useful.
can I be executioner, by the way?
You're free to
Welcome
listen.
to the group. Welcome to the group. Now that you're here, welcome to the cult.
Lol.
Can I drink the Kool-Aid now?
Anybody have any other questions or anything like that?
Where's the Kool-Aid?
Yeah, there is one announcement I'd like to make for on behalf of all of the Guardians of Ran. Now that I'm Earl, I get to see into the inner workings of that.
You're not an Earl.
What did I say? Earl Jarl. I'm hungry. I get to see the inner workings of this great company. And one thing we've put together for the event is warband flags and a great company flag. And we've all worked very hard on this with our ideas and the various concepts. And we try to put together some themes in that. So I'd like to just go down the line here with our great companies, and then finally I'll present the the war bands, and I'll finally present the great company one last sample of our efforts. So let's see here. Who did we say was going first?
I believe we were starting with Un's favored.
Un's favored, yeah. So
we will be posting this in Mead Hall, as I recall.
I was gonna say, I think I have those. Go ahead and let's see. Let me post
I'll post
these.
it up. I'll post mine up.
Okay. I gotta find it again. I filed it away.
So I just posted it up in Mead Hall. It was announced in the archives already, but this is the new Unsfavored, representing us as a scout warband within the lore. And the colors have significance as well. The dark blue is supposed to represent the ocean that we sail on, and the light blue is the sky above us. And the white is actually representing Assyria, the land covered in snow that we're from. Manny, are you able to explain Franz real quick?
Yes, actually, I'd be more than happy to. As unfortunately, it appears that Ndielfer is not here with us. I'm also going to throw my radio into the back seat because that's going to be loud. So the flag of Hrun's Watchers is the one with the keep and the starburst design. The keep is supposed to symbolize, the defensive nature of Hrun's Watchers. The fact that they are the guardians, the vanguard of the fleet, right? Particularly, with the starburst design as well around that. That is supposed to signify kind of the magics and such that they use in order to fulfill that role. Mainly the circle around the keep, symbolizing the defensive wards and such that they cast, right? And then the kind of starburst pattern around it, symbolizing more of the offensive spells and such that they can cast in order to turn the tides of battle. I don't recall whether or not Ndielfer had any sort of symbolism for the colors, so please forgive me on that one. But yeah, as far as I can recall off the top of my head, that was the majority of the symbolism with the flag of Hrun's Watchers. After Hrun's Watchers comes the flag of Kolga's Frost Guard, the engineering and siege-based warband, the ice blue, signifying the blue skies which we sail beneath, the white field symbolizing the glaciers that Kolga's Frost Guard sails across, and the frozen seas that they traverse. The snowflake signifying, yet again, the the frozen nature of everything that Kolga's runs, and then the gear symbolizing the engineering and siege aspects of the warband.
Great, thanks, Manny. And last but not least, the Guardians of Ran flag. So for this one, we essentially combined elements from all three of the warband flags. Going forward, if there were to be another warband, we would obviously consider fitting them in somehow, redesigning whatever. So we have you got the compass, you got the castle tower, and then you also have the gear for the aforementioned reasons for each. You keep the white and the blue theme for the water, the ice, which, you know, with the exception of Huron's with the red, it's both mostly white, blue, you know, gray thematic colors. And then we have a 4-quadrant design for the what was that for, Manny? You told me the other day.
The 4 houses of WA.
Thank you. The
Signify
4
4
houses
that make up Guardians of Ran.
Yeah, that participate in the great company. There you have it, guys. Enjoy. I'd just like to thank Manny for his artistic efforts, and I'd like to thank all of our officers for their valuable input. It took a lot of time, many hours. You can ask Manny; he was a busy bee for the last week here. Really,
Many
just cramming to
hours?
get these
No.
Manny
Not
hours.
many hours. Many hours.
Many hours. Yes, I believe it's 1.2 hours to the Manny hour. So there you go. So thanks, guys.
They all look great, guys. Good job.
Yeah, those look awesome.
Dankeschön.
We're all very, very proud of them. And thanks again to Manny for all the hard work.
I should note, they keep trying to push all of this onto me. All right.
I'm pretty
But
sure
they
you
won't-
offered.
They won't give themselves enough credit. A lot of these ideas and designs were, you know, majority, you know, the other officers helping out. I was just the hand that did it. It's as simple as that. So, you know, please, for those of you that are in Guardians of Ran, if you enjoy, you know, the flag and stuff, and you want to, you want to talk about the design, talk to your Husk girl about it, because they say I made it. I am not the sole one responsible. These guys were more than helpful.
Well,
their assistance was invaluable.
We made it. Manny just drove.
Pretty much.
But Manny has
Our flags, our
some
state, our
experience
great company.
simulating flags. There's a site he uses, and he also knows some of the rules for creating flags, which have served us well. You know, feel free to hit him up for these things if you're interested on any game for any kind of, you know, if you need a logo, that kind of thing. I'm sure he'd be happy to help. Sorry, Manny, signing up for stuff.
It's all good. I'll do the absolute best that I possibly can. I'm happy to help in whatever way.
Well,
But I am not going to say that I am good.
Well, this I definitely think enhances our image as a clan. You know, just in general. You know, you show this to somebody, I'm sure they'll be like, "Wow, you know, look at these guys."
Absolutely, and I think even more cool to have it just for the Yarnrith. I mean, obviously I'm a free agent, but I know if I was in the Guardians of Ran or any of the warbands, I mean, I'd be happy to fight for that flag. You know, so I hope we get plenty of challenges.
Now, Vests, I have to ask, which one's your favorite?
Which warband or which?
No, I wouldn't ask you to do that. Just which flag? Simply on the artistic rendering.
Nobody's going to be offended, I promise.
Well, honestly, and this is a bit of the cop-out answer, but I think it's the honest answer too. I kind of like the Guardians of Ran one the best. I really like the colors, so I think I'm a bit biased there. Two of my more favorite colors kind of included in that, so. But I think that would have to be my answer.
Cool. Thanks. I know we agonized over specifically the colors. Like, I don't even know how long. It was like we started at 10. Next thing we know, it's like 1 in the morning.
There was
I
a lot
kid
of
you
time
not.
spent on this, and there were many drafts that have been gone through. My folder of, as it is so eloquently named, Warriors of Aesir shit, has been chock full of different drafts and things of all these flags. So a lot of time and effort has gone into these.
But yeah, I was very pleased with these guys and what they put forth. So there you have it, folks.
Awesome. Yeah, I think they turned out great. Well, we've gone a solid 25 minutes, but I think we do have time if anybody else has any other questions, ideas, suggestions, anything like that. Sounding like no. Well, that's totally fine. I think we got some pretty good discussion in, and yeah, I guess I'll just throw out once more that if anybody has anything about WA they want to know, I mean, me and the Scribes Guild are happy to work on codex entries and whatnot for all this stuff. What I really want, and Pato kind of touched on this a bit in his speech on House Blitzkrieg, is for us to have as little forgotten as possible. We've had how many thousands of people in WA over the years, how many dozens, hundreds of different organizations, teams, divisions, platoons, rough platoons, companies, war bands, etc. And for as little of that to be forgotten as possible, if we can get it, written down, notated, kept it organized, everything like that, I think it's great. So anything somebody's curious about, even if it's just like, oh, I remember some guy from 7 years ago, what was his name, or something like that, definitely there is nothing like, oh, it has to be this important or this integral to WA history to be in the codex or something like that. Not really. It's just anything related to WA that we can document, we definitely want to. So happy to take suggestions or ideas on that anytime. There's technically a thread for it on the forums, but you can also just message us, ping us, or whatever. But yeah, I guess we'll probably sign off the Fireside chat then, unless anybody has any final questions or thoughts or anything like that. Okay, cool. Well, thanks everybody for showing up, and anybody watching live or watching the VODs. This is Fireside Chat 52 being concluded. We'll be back for number 53 next week, Thursday at 5 Pacific, so see everybody then.